Hey there, guys. Nolen Walker here with advice from Nolen Walker for mainly entrepreneurial related things. Today, I'm going to talk about hiring people. Don't hire the chosen one, avoiding entitled job seekers. So, let's talk about hiring people. And of course, guys, we don't discriminate, protected classes. We do all that all the time. This doesn't have anything to do with any of that. First thing I'll tell you is if you, for one thing, bring people back in the office. Enough of the at-home stuff, man. This screw you, 3 ways from Sunday. Don't care, and it's difficult for you to build company culture and all this. Very, very difficult to do that with people at home. If you have some people at home, fine. They can basically just do this skill set of things. They can't help you go set up a room, grab something. I mean, there's all kinds of little things that need to happen. Collaboration. It's difficult to have company culture, procedures, synergies, sales. All that gets more difficult when people are at home. I encourage you to bring people into the office. So let's say you've got somebody and they are supposed to be coming in the office. They don't show up. They're over 15 minutes late. I would say over 10, but who knows? They don't know where you are. They're across town. They're over 15 minutes late. Do not ever see them again. They called you the day before. I can't make it. The morning before. I can't make it. My dog died. My grandma died. I mean, I've heard everything, all of it, over and over again. This happened, that happened. I got this problem. I got that problem. You thank God that they told you that they were going to tell you their problems and burden you with that stuff, and you never ever have them in again for any reason whatsoever at that point. You can thank me later for this and remember me later if you hire this person. It's like, oh God, Nolen, they were the best salesperson ever. Man, they were good. Yeah, they're working your butt from the beginning. They're testing you like a 14-year-old. I do not touch them with a 10-foot pole. If they don't make it in, you run and get the next person. Just that individual, whoever they are, doesn't matter. They didn't come in, don't matter. And 1 in 100 times they'll be telling the truth. And you need to burn that lead on that person. Don't hire them. Don't look back. Don't worry about it. I want to talk about something else too. So that is a freebie for me. Years of me wishing somebody would be good. Coming in, oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't make it. Oh, your dog died, your car, your flat tire, this or that, doctor's appointment. It's like, okay, that person, the minute you hire them, is your problem. They're your problem then, and they came in coming out the gate with personal baggage. It's promise you the beginning of that. So you've got people in now. You're in a hire at will state, like Texas, most states. Be careful on your state. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not telling you what the Workforce Commission does in your market. So know that before you do anything. But if you got this person, they begin to backslide. The worker begins to backslide. Snarkiness, attitude, slow, beginning to come in late. You feel trapped because you've only got one person in the position or two. You wish you had redundancy, but it's hard to dig out of the hole when they're shanking you in the back as you're trying to move forward. It feels like you're dragging sacks of potatoes up a hill like Sisyphus trying to roll the rock. And the person just keeps backsliding, but they don't screw up so bad that you can't fire them. And remember, they talked to you about all their problems. Well, now they've loaded on more, and you're worried about your ability to let them go. I will tell you that you should write them up, follow Workforce Commission guidelines in your state, and evidence this stuff and put it in writing. Be professional about it. Don't get emotional about it. And I will tell you that you should probably always hire now. I will share with you something. It is so difficult to find somebody that will work with integrity. Let's talk about integrity in people. Can somebody work and be poor and have integrity? Absolutely. Do people that work and are poor and at a chosen profession that complain incessantly about the job have integrity? Probably not. Is it hard to find people with integrity today that will come in and work a good, honest day for a good pay? It's almost impossible. Almost impossible. So what I want you to do since it is so difficult for a small business to earn money anyway, I want you to make sure that you have these people. And if people begin to backslide on you, I want you to, for one thing, do background checks up front. If they're late, don't call them back. If they made an excuse and canceled the appointment, do not ever hire them or call them back in. I do not care what the reason was. Don't do it. And follow Workforce Commission guidelines in your state, and don't violate any protected class or rights. And once you hire somebody that came in up front, I call it, they have wiffle ball bats. They hitting you in the head. They pop you. They slapped you. They stung you. They did something up front. And if you hire that person, you're begging for a problem. So now you've got somebody in, and then they have a problem. There is a problem, and you don't fire them because it's too hard. And guys, I'm telling you my own experiences here. Nowadays, because there's so few people of integrity that will come in and work. And let's talk about integrity and work just a second before I tell you what to do with these people. I guess if somebody's got integrity, they're great. They're going to be worth having in, but it's hard to find it. So you're going to hire all the time. You're going to leave your ad in. ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is full of, it depends on what type of business you are, but LinkedIn's full of hustlers. I mean, it's just a hustler's paradise. So don't let anybody hustle you to work at home. But if that person begins to backslide, write them up, follow the rules and the guidelines, and have backup, have somebody ready to go. Keep looking. Look through resumes every week. I know this one's going to suck, but I'm telling you to look through resumes every single week and keep your ad live. That way, if you have one person, they begin to shank you in the back every time you turn around, little passive-aggressive jabs and things, but not enough to fire them, but they're killing your business. The attitude alone is killing your business and infecting the rest of the people. This will happen over and over again. Be ready to pull the trigger, make the harder decision and move, retrain them, bring someone else in, especially if you have several people. You're letting somebody walk all over you, you're setting an example, you're going to go broke. And even if you don't go broke, it's not your job to come in and have mediocrity of pay of yourself. You're an entrepreneur, you're supposed to make money. If you let mediocrity in, low integrity, and you barely make money, what is the point at some point for you and your business? And you'll never know what you could have gone to if you don't do this. I'm not even talking the point to where you have procedures and processes in place and everything set up. You definitely should have that done, though. There's a lot of programs nowadays doesn't matter your business, to where you can begin to put things in. We have a program that we set up for social media and all of our content videos and everything. It's all saved in a program. That person quit quickly that put it in there, but it was already in there. They were gone. Next person had it. Next person worked out. So try to get some procedures and set up stuff, and then it'll make it easier on you when you need to yank somebody out or let somebody go and bring in another person, and you don't feel so vulnerable to poor quality people that come in through the door. Don't let somebody either craftily scare you into like not being able to get rid of them because they let you know their problem, this problem, that problem. Document, fight back. There are professional hustling people that are employed that will mess you around if they can, and you're too small of a business to let this happen to yourself. Let's talk about, let's talk about you being a small business, let's say that you have 50 people or less. Let's say 10 people or less. Let's do that. I think you're probably not in a category of being forced to have benefits, depending on the state that you're in. Like, I think Texas is the last state that doesn't require workers' compensation as a requirement if you employed someone under a construction company. I think you can still be a subcontractor in most states, or a single owner operator, and sub everybody and not have to worry about it. This is important. If you don't own a business and you're listening to this, keep your opinion to yourself. I don't really care anyway, but if you own a business and you're a small business, it is not your job. You're not social services. You don't collect taxes from the government. It is not your job to go out and do things and unnecessary benefits that are not mandatorily put upon all businesses. And I say it in that way because once something's mandatorily put upon all businesses, which we can is a different argument whether the government should be able to do that or not. But by the time it's mandatory to all businesses, then and only then would you provide it under most circumstances. And I say most circumstances because if you've got some high-powered software company or something big, or you're working with doctors or engineers, you may have to provide this health care benefit and this 401k and all that. But you're a plumber, roofer, HVAC, social media, this, that, drop shipper. Don't do any of it before you have to do it because it'll put you at an unfair competitive advantage. You'll lose that competitive advantage. You can't afford to go in to a basic service where your peers don't provide all that. Your cost of doing business goes through the roof. This is not going to bring in a ton of extra people that are going to do a great job, that are going to miraculously have high integrity. Now, you might garner a slightly better quality person, but believe me, there's a lot of hustlers out there that are going to hustle you up, that are high end, that will do nothing. Some of the best seeming people will do this. So it depends on your business. This isn't a hard, fast rule, but this is a mainly hard, fast rule. If you're a small business and you're not required to provide those benefits, and you do, your chance of going out of business is going to be accelerated, heightened. And if you have some sort of fabulous structured product, you have software, AI, you're in crypto, I don't know. And you probably have private equity money, and there's a requirement. You're going to go in there and have insurance and everything else, but you need to have a modest office. You need to probably drive a modest car to work until you're willing to pay and belly down for this stuff. And if you start bellying down and doing a lot of high-end office, starting to provide benefits and all these other things, there's a lot of expense come with it, and it'll erode your profits like that. Guys, sales, you may have to do these yourself. Let's talk about the opposite of the employment on it. You're trying to work on your business, not in your business. Isn't it a nice sentiment from a bunch of dudes on social media, on Instagram, that are going to coach you on how to do a business that's never run their own stinking business? Makes me sick almost. But I have respect for the game. I don't hate them entirely, but most of your coaches never run a good business before. So you may not need to be hiring all these employees. If they can return, you hire them. If they don't, you're a small business. You're trying to earn money. It'd be nice if they could sell the lead, but they can't. And you'll go out of business if you let them sell the lead. Hey, I'm turning a wrench. Somebody needs to answer the phone. How many times when you're turning a wrench can you not answer the phone? Having somebody answer the phone that does not give a crap about whether you live or die and burns out a bunch of leads that you could have gone on, it might be better for you to miss 25% of your phone call. Let me rephrase this. It is better for you to miss 25% of your phone calls than it is for someone else that doesn't care about you to answer the phone. If it's family answering the phone, fine. But if you hired someone to answer the phone, they're not going to close the deals. You're going to not only pay them, but lose half of all leads. You lose 25% maybe, but you're going to call back your missed calls, and you're going to schedule your own stuff. Let's talk about a lead itself, a funneled lead, a lead that comes in, a cold lead. I don't know. Can you hire the salesperson? Can you afford their loss of conversion of the sale for the salesperson? Will it make you go bankrupt? Be careful on hiring people when you're not 100% sure you need them in the first place. Avoid the mistake of thinking you need to hire people because of watching influencers on social media that never run a business. Work on your business, not in your business. I'm an influencer. Come to me for coaching. Dude, I can tell by looking at you that you've never run a business. I've run a business ever since I could push a lawnmower. I did root clippings. I did clippings and root stimulator in a greenhouse I had before I could even push the lawnmower, and sold hanging baskets that grew during the wintertime to the neighborhood ladies in the neighborhood. And it's been a hell of a journey. Sometimes I've had more people, sometimes I've had less. I have multiple businesses, and I've had many, many failures and quite a few wins. And frankly, life in general right now is a win. It's a win. Decades I was concerned, but I win and I win. It was from years of failure and doing stuff. And so, did I pay someone to do the podcast here? No, of course not. But that's the ridiculousness of it. Should I pay somebody? Should I go to LinkedIn and try to get someone to replace Nolen Walker on the podcast? No. Well, why not, Nolen? You work on the business, you're working in the business. You're darn right I'll work in the business every single day. The nature of work changes, but you're always going to work in your business. You're going to work all the time. These guys that claim they don't work, you'll see people coaching on how to run a plumbing business, and then they're nonstop hitting up people to coach plumbing businesses. And maybe their business runs better, but they work that business, they work other businesses. The nature of the work changes. Maybe they're not turning the wrench or doing other stuff. This is any business. I have software companies. I have digital marketing agencies. I have real estate. My hands are dirty in all of them. Do I make a website? No. Do I write content? No. Do I work the business? Yes. Do I try to get rid of rote work when I can? I do. I'm telling you, some of them are sticky and hard to get rid of, like sales. I could not sell, but I might want to go out of business if I didn't sell because people can't seem to sell. So be careful with employment. You might not even need the employee in the first place. Are you having a hard time in business? Is somebody stopping you? Are you thinking that person might be screwing up my business? They might be bad. I got news for you. I've never fired anybody that wasn't bad. I've never said, look back and go, uh-oh, they were really good and I actually fired a bad person. Now, I've done stuff that I've apologized about, said some things when I was younger, and come back off of statements made, but I've never actually fired anybody that wasn't bad. And if I had a gut check that somebody was bad, they were really bad. It's like spotting a rat or a mouse. There was a lot of other things going on. In fact, I fired people and had renaissance periods in my business, like the skies opened up and cash dumped down upon me. Literally had that happen. Not that, but, literally had it happen to where profits exploded after the trash got out, the negativity, the passive-aggressive bullshit. You can get good people, but you have to watch it. And I will tell you, in 2024, holy crud, it's rough. Everybody's a hustler to work from home. Try not to work at all. Quiet quitters and all sorts of bullshit, all sorts of horrible people. Let's talk about that a little bit too. The job seeker. They're mad. They got tricked by society, got good grades, got in a good college so they could get a good job, but oops, the corporate companies run them like a hamster on a wheel, and then when they come to work for your small business, then they run you in the ground because you're not watching them like a hawk like the big corporations do. You get the big corporation people over, man, they know how to work it. They know how to work it. So don't feel bad for people on that point. Life's hard, meant to be lived, not meant to be happy all the time. And if somebody's working somewhere and you're an employee somewhere, listen to me right now, it's your job to go in and have integrity, at least for yourself, by providing good work for an honest day's pay. Whether you love it or not, you're at least bettering yourself. And you're not asking for entire compensation for a new skill picked up the next day that you don't get a bump in pay immediately, but you get a bump in integrity and experience, and you move upwards as an individual and a human being. You might help somebody that deserves it. You might help a business that is calloused or you don't care, but you as an individual get helped yourself. I moved from that position to an owner. It's hard to move from that position to an owner, and you don't have to become an owner. You don't have to become an entrepreneur, but it's almost impossible. The laws of the world will stop you if you hate upon, if you do a poor job for people, if you're a bad employee, that you will stay there. You will have mediocrity. You will not move forward. You certainly won't own a business because you disrespect business. The world says you won't own a business if you disrespect businesses with your work. You almost can't do it. Show me somebody that worked like horribly for someone, poor integrity, poor business ethics, poor work ethic, trying to get away, trying to quiet quit, trying to do a bad job, passive aggressive, nasty thoughts, nasty narratives, and show me that person that then went out and started a business, had a successful business. It's very difficult. Most of the time, karma's a bitch and hits you right on the spot. You're already living a bad life. Don't get mad at somebody else. And if you have a bad employer, go get a different employer. Most of the time, you have a lot of bad people out there. a lot of bad people trying to get away with stuff, and then they complain when they don't get to what they want. Us people that work our butts off and have worked hard for years have zero compassion for this kind of thing. I know life is tough. I have compassion for the hardness of it on all of us, but not when somebody doesn't work and wants stuff. Who's like wondered why things didn't work out right. Some of it's a mentality shift as to why I do these for helping people. This is free business coaching for me. And I know that people got tricked and it can be frustrating, but you don't hurt other people because of it. The trickery is the system. I don't know, it goes back to Carnegie or somebody who didn't want entrepreneurs, wanted employees. And so the school system got screwed and we were taught to get good grades. So we get into college, get a good job. But is it that way? Not usually, right? And it very best case scenario, you make better money, but you're still kind of chumped out to a point that it makes you mad. It's like, well, I make more. Most people make $65,000. I make $400,000 as an employee, but I still work all the time and have to ask for permission to go on vacation. And I didn't get to retire till 65, and I died at 78. And it's like, and the last 7 years of my life were broke down and inflamed. And so that's the bullshit of the whole thing. Right? We all know that. So you're looking for as much freedom as possible. And I'll tell you, by handling things like employment as a business owner and entrepreneur, handling tough things up front, like owning or starting a business, is harder in the beginning, easier in the long run, and is certainly not filled with the regret of all the other stuff that you could do. So if you want to have a good life, you'll handle the hard stuff, like somebody sitting in the corner that's shanking you and hurting your business. That is an honorable thing for a business owner to do. These are things you must do. Is your business down? Oh, my leads are the same on my metrics on Google Analytics. Dude, go check who's answering your phone. Did you quit marketing other stuff? I have people call us all the time. I own a digital marketing agency. Somebody's leads are way up. There's only a couple things that could have happened. Nobody will listen and be logical about it, and that people go crazy about it, and they miss marketing too. That's a big one. We'll do it later. But I guarantee you that they either quit marketing or have a bad employee answering the phone and trashing out leads. Are they recording that call? Follow your recording law legality in your state. You must go listen to those people. Why? Because there's so many poor integrity people that don't understand, that will run your business into the ground. But if you run a proper operation and you work yourself and you show good work ethic, Elon slept under the desk. You like Elon or not, he works. And by the way, speaking of Elon, does he work? Yeah, he works. Does he build the car? No. Does he work all the time? Yes. Does he work in the business? He works in the business. Does he work on the business? He works on the business. Nature of work changes over time. Do not shame yourself on not being able to hire, train, have the right people, have it all right there, or that you make a sale, that you turn a wrench. Have pride in that and run the business as best you can to keep a profit so you can earn profit and have investment so that you can try to get out of the rat race. And enjoy the pride of the integrity of your hard work and the fact that you took the chance to be the entrepreneur while you're getting down the road. And I promise you, just within that, even though you might work harder, you'll have more freedom and you'll not have the regret at the end of the day. I don't want you to be that person. I don't want to be that person that left something on the table and has quiet, life of regret. I don't want to look in somebody's eyes and see that past a forced smile when I'm trying to buy my groceries or whatever I'm doing. It's a sad part of humanity. If you're working somewhere, do a good job. If you're running a business, work it the best you can. Learn on here, and I'll try to help you. I want to be your business coach for free. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm teaching you the same stuff I taught my kids. All teenagers now, all entrepreneurial brained. I love it. I don't know where it'll turn up, but they're doing a good job. I want the same for you. I want more people around me. I want business owners everywhere. Let's make more of them. It's America. You can still go out and start a business. Go start a business. Try. Do something. Take massive action. Try and fail and fail and fail and fail to a win, and then fail. I failed 50 times to win. You only get a few wins. And then if you invest, then the wins just become, it's all around you. And it shows, and it's great. Come on back next time. Nolen Walker here. I'm here to help you. We'll see you.